Next order of business is motions, petitions, and communications. Chair recognizes the lady from Kenton 63. For what purpose, ma'am?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To address the members of the body, please.
Give the lady from Kenton your attention, please.
Mr. Speaker, I know it's been a long morning, and I ask for the indulgence of the body I promise, under 5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give the lady from Kenton your attention.
Mr. Speaker, this is the 4th term that I've been honored and privileged to represent the good people of the 63rd District. 10 years ago, in January 2009, I sat for the first time in an elected position, political position, as a councilwoman for the city of Lakeside Park in northern Kentucky. And before that, I had taken on the role of a volunteer that many of us are very familiar with in this room, campaigning for others, walking door to door, making phone calls, attending fundraisers, activities, as I said, which most of us are very familiar with. I was not born into a political family. I was not familiar with any state, local politics. In fact, living overseas, I grew up with exposure to international policies and foreign affairs. My orientation was in the world of business, both small and large. And so it was fitting in 2017, when my party became the majority in the House, that I was honored to be asked and to accept a role as chair of Small Business and Information Technology, a new committee formed to address the needs of the backbone of our country's economy, as well as expanding field of information technology. I am grateful to the former Speaker of the House, the gentleman from Russell, and the leadership team at that time, who had the foresight to move Kentucky into the future, placing us with our legislative peers in Congress in step with them. I am grateful for the expansion of that support, Mr. Leader, on so many levels, under you and under our current leadership. You are moving us forward into the future, and all the while tackling monumental hurdles such as the one that we have all dealt with today from the past. I applaud you. I applaud my colleagues here in the House, all 99 of you, and all of the ones who have retired prior to this last term, for making the sacrifices and accepting the challenges that you have, and you have faced this with much grace and skill. I urge you to meet new challenges with hearts and minds wide open. To both parties, I urge caution before accepting status quo as the only way of doing things, for that will, in my opinion, impede the progress of our beloved Commonwealth, and it will suffocate the light of the bright and the inquisitive amongst us. Yet those who believe the path forward is to extinguish the past and all traditions, this is folly. Tradition and history ground us and give us roots, responsibility, and a baseline from which we can measure progress and failure. It is a necessary component to evolution. And speaking of evolution, it is the right season and time for me to move on, Mr. Speaker and members. As the gentleman from Boone 60 broke it to you last Friday, I was recently married. We have a wonderful opportunity ahead of us to start our married life together under the same roof. I'll let you know how that works out. I may be back soon. Who knows? With exciting new business ventures and opportunities for both of us. But please know that my roots remain in Kentucky. My home is here. My daughter and son-in-law, my first grandchild coming in January 2020. My son, who surprised me last night saying he was going to be here from Fort Campbell, he sits behind me, and my daughter-in-law there, and my friends. And so I know I will be back frequently and within a few years for retirement. I am so blessed to have been entrusted to carry the immense responsibility of representing the people of the 63rd District. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to have worked for you at home and in Frankfurt. It has equally been an honor and a privilege to work with my colleagues, each and every one of you. Ours is a bond that is forged out of respect for the unique work that we do and the close relationships that we form, regardless of ideological differences. Only those in this type of service understand how we can go from arguing against each other's position on the floor or in committee meetings to having a cup of coffee or a bourbon together at a restaurant. I will miss this, and I will miss you. I will miss our tremendous LRC staff, without whom we all know we could not do the business of the people. I have worked with so many, but I will name 3 who have been instrumental on bills that have taken considerable time to prepare and which have undergone numerous iterations. Matt Trebelhorn on my drone bills of 5 years, Dale Hardy on my animal welfare bills, Chris Joffrion on medical marijuana, which I continue to believe is the only hope for so many of our Kentuckians, for whom I will continue the fight, even if from afar. You have worked so hard to give life to our dreams, and I thank you. And I want to especially thank my legislative assistants who have put up with me over the years, in particular Rose Mack, Daniel Anderson, Leslie Berger, Doris Bailey, Holly Tate, and Shannon Garnieri. You did put up with a lot. I also have to speak from my experience on behalf of our lobbyists. They do their homework. They work hard, they have integrity, are respectful, educated, and yes, they are persistent. They are part of the pipeline of our education on issues, invaluable in that regard. I thank all of you as well. And finally, Mr. Speaker, and most importantly, I would like to thank my constituents of the 63rd District, the communities, the business leaders, the elected officials, for whom I have so much gratitude for their unwavering support over these last several years, 7 to be exact. You have my everlasting gratitude for this remarkable opportunity to move our district and the Commonwealth forward. And so, Mr. Speaker, my friends and members of this august body, it is with both great joy and profound sadness that I will be resigning as the state representative of the 63rd District. God bless you, and God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you, lady. Thank you for your service to Commonwealth, to the people of the 63rd District.